Red. Hi, I hope everyone is doing well. My name is Vidushi and welcome to Daily News Simplified, an answer to what, why, and how of newspaper analysis from the UPSC perspective. Today we have taken up important articles from The Hindu, The Indian Express, and The Business Line. So our first question for pre, we have taken up 5 important topics, and our first question is based on Competition Commission of India, CCI. Why? Because there's an article which talks about its roles and functions. Second question is based on Panama Canal, because there's many articles which deals with the drought-like situation in Panama region. Then third question is based on yellow pest, yellow rust, because scientists from Karnal, they warned farmers against this. Then there's next question related to satellites, because there's an article which deals with the working of weather satellites. So we have curated practice question on the same. Then our last pre-pointer is related to Advertising Standards Council of India, that is ASCI. Why? Because this council came up with new guidelines. So these are 5 pre-related topics, and for mains we have taken up poverty and associated issue, because there's an article which deals with the authenticity of poverty data. Then we have taken up 2 summaries. First is based on Iran-Pakistan-Baloch conundrum, and second, generative AI and copyright issue. So now, before moving further, there's a small request. If you like our videos, do like, share, and subscribe. So let's start our session. First discussion is based on this news article which appeared on 13 in the Indian Express. Context is that Competition Commission of India has been at the forefront of promoting fair competition and curbing anti-competitive practices. Now, the first question is, why do we need competition? As a commoner, to avail the broadest range of goods and services at an affordable price or a competitive price. Why? Because there's a tendency, when there's a high level of competition, somewhere it will push producers to work more efficiently. So it will increase the efficiency of producers, yes, and it will reflect in less cost products, less cost of products. So what will happen? This will give wider range of products or options to consumers. So to ensure this, you need fair price mechanism. Yes, fair price mechanism. And this will give level playing field to producers. And to monitor this, you need CCI. Okay, so this is a brief introduction about CCI. Now, UPSC has been asking questions related to statutory and non-statutory bodies. Like in year 2023, there was a question based on the same. So here we have curated practice question on Competition Commission of India. And here we have given you 3 statements, and you need to identify the correct one. Okay, correct one. The first statement is, CCI is a statutory body established under the Monopolies and Restrictive Trade Practices Act 1969. See, first part of the statement is correct. CCI is a statutory body, but catch is that it is responsible for enforcing Competition Act 2002, and it repealed Monopolies and Restrictive Trade Practice Act 1969, which we have given in the option. Okay, and this is done based on the recommendation Raghavan Committee. Okay. So this makes our first statement incorrect. Got it? Now let's come to the second statement. The chairperson of CCI should be a retired judge of the Supreme Court or eligible to be appointed as one. Now, composition of CCI is like that. There's one chairperson and not more than 6 members. And these 6 members appointed by central government. Based on what? That a person should be like of ability, integrity and standing, who has special knowledge of and such professional experience of not less than 15 years. In what? In international trade, in economics, in banking, in business, etc. This makes our second statement incorrect. Okay. Now let's come to the last statement. Commission does not have the power to impose penalties. Now, CCI basic function is that they will give advice to central agencies or central government over competition issue. So they do work as a quasi-judicial body. They can impose penalties. And this makes our third statement incorrect. And to remember this fact, we have 2 examples for you. Competition Commission of India imposed a penalty of 936.44 crore on Google for what? For abusing its dominant position with respect to its Play Store policies. You can remember this fact with the help of example. Then Competition Commission of India has slapped a fine of 40 lakh on Axis Bank. Okay. So this makes our third statement incorrect. So what would be our answer? Yes, D, none. Now let's come to the next question. Our next question is based on multiple newses which covered that there's a drought-like situation in Panama region. Why? Because there is reduced availability of water in Gorton Lake, which makes difficult for the ships to use Panama Lake Canal. Okay. Now this disruption in Panama follows the disruption in global shipping. You have read many articles with related to that, how the attacks ships in Red Sea region. Yes. So this is another disruption. Now, UPSC has been asking question, a map-based question. There was a question based on the same theme in year 2022. So here we have curated practice question on isthmus. Isthmus. Now before starting, what is isthmus? Isthmus is here you can see, is a narrow stretch or strip of land connecting 2 large water bodies. Water body 1, water body 2. Okay, it's a narrow strip of land. And now you need to tell me what is strait in the comment box. Okay, so here we have given you 4 options and we need to find out the correctly matched pair. So the first is Panama Isthmus. Obviously, article is based on the same. So Panama Isthmus is located in Middle America. Yes, it's true. And this isthmus, as you can see in this map, Panama Isthmus connects Atlantic and Pacific Ocean. Got it? So this makes our first option correct. Middle America. Second is Suez Isthmus. Now where is Suez Isthmus? Here, as you can see in this map. Let me change the color. As you can see in this map, it connects Mediterranean Sea with Red Sea and it lies in Africa. Okay, this makes our second option correct. Suez Isthmus lies in Africa. Third is Kra Isthmus. Okay, as you can see here, Kra Isthmus, it connects Gulf of Thailand and Andaman Sea. Here is Andaman Sea and Gulf of Thailand. Thank you. And Andaman Sea. Okay. This makes our third pair incorrect. Okay. This is incorrect. This is Asia. Southeast Asia. Okay. So Kara Isthmus lies in Southeast Asia and it connects what? Gulf of Thailand and Andaman Sea. Now the fourth pair is Karelian Isthmus. See here. This is Karelian Isthmus and it connects Gulf of Finland and Ladoga Sea. It connects Finland and Russia. Got it? So this makes our fourth pair incorrect. Obviously, Karelian Sea lies in Europe and not in North America. Try to practice map-based question with the help of map, then you will remember easily. Okay. So here our answer is option B, only 2 because 2 pairs are correct. Panama Isthmus lies in Middle America. Suez Isthmus in Africa. Kra Isthmus in Southeast Asia. Karelian Isthmus in Europe. Okay. Now, let's come to our next question, which is based on this news article. And this news article we have taken up from the Business Line. And this article appeared on page number 10. So, context is, as I told you, Karnal-based Indian Institute of Wheat and Barley Research. They have warned farmers to remain vigilant against yellow rust. And it is a pest. Okay. Now, UPSC has been asking question related to recent development with respect to agricultural sector. There was a question on neem tree in year 2014. So here we have taken a practice question on yellow rust. Okay. Let me change the color. So here we have given you 2 statements and you need to identify the correct one. So before delving much deeper, first we should know basics about yellow rust. See, here you can see image of this rust. Yellow rust disease appears as a yellow strip of powder or dust on the leaves and leaf cells of wheat crop. Got it? Here you can see in this image. Yellow strips is there. Yes, this yellow strip is there. And this yellow powder comes out on clothing or finger when touched. And it is a huge concern if we talk about the economic value, economic loss. And it is not specifically limited to wheat. It do occur in barley, but there it's quite rare. Why? Because of varietal resistance and basically what will happen? Rust colonies. See here, many rust colonies are there. They will drain the carbohydrates from the plant and they will reduce the green area, green leaf area. Okay, as you can see, yellow strip. Why? Because they taken away the carbohydrate responsible for the green leaf area. Got it? And areas that have cool, damp summers and mild winters are prone to yellow rust infections. For example, coastal areas, northeastern region, etc. And there's an updation. New variety of wheat called HD3226 or Pusa Yashasvi, which was released by Indian Agricultural Research Institute, is having higher level of resistance against major rust fungi like yellow strip, brown leaf, black stem, etc. Okay. So now let's solve our MCQ. So the first is, it refers to the disease which reduces the productivity of cotton crop. No, it is related to wheat. Yes. This is not cotton, wheat crop. And this makes our first statement incorrect. Second statement is, it drains the carbohydrates from the plant and reduce the green leaf area. Yes, just now we have seen. It reduce or take away the carbohydrate from the leaf and reduce the green leaf area, which is a cause of concern. Got it? So this makes our second statement correct. So our answer is B, 2 only. Now, in comment box, tell me DMH11 is variety of what? Okay. In our recent sessions, we have covered that. So our next question is based on this news article, which appeared on page number 12 in the Hindu newspaper. Context is that this article is based on a paper published by IMD scientists, and it gives insight into how weather satellites, for example, INSET 3D R, they collect data, contribute to weather monitoring and forecasting. Okay. Now UPSC has been asking question based on advancement in space technology, particularly satellites. There was a question which is based on satellite images and remote sensing data, which came in year 2019. So here we have curated practice question based on same theme. Question says, for the measurement, estimation of weather through satellites, which of the following parameters are used? Which of the following parameters are used? So, first parameter they have given is solar reflectance. Second is brightness temperature. Third is radiation interaction with matter. Fourth is water vapor at different heights. And we need to find out the correct one. To understand this or to answer this, first we need to know about the major takeaways from this article. See, this article revolves around weather forecasting satellites, INSET 3D. And this satellite, they use 3 color to produce image. First is 3 colors, red, blue and green, RGB. Okay. And this color determined based on 2 factors. First is solar reflectance. Another factor is brightness temperature. Now, what is solar reflectance? The solar reflectance is that it is a ratio which is amount of energy, amount of solar energy reflected by a surface. Okay, amount of energy reflected by a surface to the amount of solar energy incident on it. Got it? That is solar reflectance. Second parameter is brightness temperature. It is a relationship, it shows a relationship between brightness and temperature. Temperature of the object, corresponding brightness of its surface. Got it? Now, where to use? To analyze our different cloud types, initial stages of convection, mature stages of thunderstorm, identification of snow area, and detection of fires. In all these areas, we can use this particular satellite. Got it? Now, according to this research paper, satellite collects weather data, and this data is based on 2 measurements. First, use of radiometers. Second, use of atmospheric sounders. Now, what is radiometers? As the name suggests, it is a device that measures various useful properties of radiation. So, typically by taking advantage of radiation's interaction with the matter. Okay, this is radiometer. Second is atmospheric sounders. What they will do? They will measure temperature and humidity and study water vapor. Fine. So, this is all about how satellites collect weather data. Now, let's solve our practice question based on same information. For the measurement estimation of weather through satellites, which of the following parameters are used? Solar reflectance, just now we have seen. Brightness temperature, relationship between brightness and temperature. Then radiation interaction with the matter. Who will map this? Yes, radiometer. Just now we have studied. Then water vapor at different height. Atmospheric sounders. They will study water vapor as a function of their heights from the ground. Got it? So, 4 options. 4 are correct. So, your answer is all 4. Now, let's come to the last pre-pointer based on this news article, which we have taken up from the Business Line. And this article appeared on page 11. Context is that Advertising Standards Council of India has finalized guidelines to prevent deceptive or unsubstantiated environment-related claims by brands in advertising. Got it? Now here in this article, there is one term, greenwashing. Greenwashing. And even UPSC framed question on the same term. Now what is greenwashing? Greenwashing is a claim by the company over their product, or their process, or anything, that they are more environment friendly than actually they are. So they will portray themselves as they are making environment sustainable products. They are very much environment friendly, but it's not true. And this claim and this is known as greenwashing. And why they do so? To maximize their profit. Okay. So this is a cause of concern. So to curb this practice, ASI, Advertising Standards Council of India, they came up with the new guidelines to prevent deceptive or unsubstantiated environment-related claims by brands in advertising. It was that advertising. Got it? So now you know what is greenwashing. UPSC has been asking questions related to regulatory authorities. There was a question based on NGT in year 2018. Got it? So here we have curated practice question on ASCI, and here we have given you 3 statements and you need to identify the correct one. So the first statement is, it is a statutory body constituted under the Food Safety and Standard Act 2006. This statement is incorrect. Why? And this entire statement is incorrect. There's no first half is right or second half is right. Because ASCI is not a statutory body. It is a self-regulatory body. See, ASI was established in year 1985 and it serves as a self-regulatory body. Got it? For the Indian advertising industry. So this makes our first statement incorrect. Now let's come to the second statement. It only provides advice after, read this word again, after the advertisement has been released in the market. And to know whether the statement is right or wrong, we need to go through the functions of Advertising Standard Council of India. So the first function is that they will monitor advertisement and they cover various media types. You take it digital, you take it print, you take it TV, point of sale, etc. Okay, this is the first. Second, consumer protection collaboration. ASI closely collaborates with different stakeholders. Third, expertise in advertising depictions. Fourth is very important because your second statement is linked to this function. It acts as a pre-production advisory. See, it deals with post-production as well as pre-production. Many organizations voluntarily submit their advertisement at a pre-production stage to ASI. So here, statement is it only provides advice after the advertisement has been released in the market. It's wrong. Okay. because it do deals with pre-production advisory. So this makes our second statement incorrect. And third statement is it revolves issues related to harmful and misleading advertisement. True. And obviously, but not advertisement that are unfair in the competition. Now let's see whether this statement is correct or incorrect. See, ASI resolves issue in advertisements that relate to dishonest or misleading ads. First. Second, indecent or offensive ads, harmful ads, and ads that are unfair in the competition. So it do covers ads that are unfair in competition. Got it? This makes our third statement incorrect. So with this, all three statements are wrong. So our answer is D, none. So here we done with our prelim pointers. Now let's start with the mains. So our first discussion is based on this news article, and this news article appear on page number 5 in the Hindu newspaper. So this article is based on context is that Congress questioned the reliability of Niti Aayog report, which claimed that 24.8 crore people have moved out of multi-dimensional poverty in India in 9 years till 2022 and 23. Okay, this much population moved out of the poverty chain. But why they raise such question? Because they do not, the given statistics do not relate to the other indices like private consumption, growth, which has slowed down to 4.4 this fiscal versus 7.1 in the last. Because of this, they have a doubt. Now, as this article talks about multi-dimensional poverty, and you can see that poverty and hunger is important theme under social justice in GS paper 2. Okay. Second, UPSC has been asking question based on important aspects related to poverty. There was a question based on relationship between hunger and poverty which came in year 2017. Then there was a question which shows or which reflects the inverse relationship between government schemes and poverty. Let me ask you one question, that do you think that with more government schemes, government could able to eradicate poverty completely? No. Then what made you to say no is answer of this question. Because question is that despite the implementation of various programs for the eradication of poverty by the government in India, poverty is still existing. Explained by giving reason. Our further discussion entails the answer of this question. And in 2019, there was a question which reflects that how COVID-19 pandemic accelerated class inequalities and poverty in India. So with this, you can make it that it is quite important for your mains examination. And in pre also, there is two question based on same in year 2019 and 18, which makes it clear that it is important for both pre as well as for your mains examination. See, before any discussion, we always talk about PYQs. Why? Because these PYQs, they work as a compass or anchor for your preparation. So always go through PYQs. It's very important. Now, let's start our discussion. with what is poverty. See, poverty is a social problem characterized by lack of resources. What kind of resources? To meet basic minimum amenities, to meet a certain minimum level of living standard. Got it? And here I use the word social condition. Why poverty is a social condition? See, in society, you need to keep tab of every word to frame a very good answer. And to solve the problem also. To solve problem also, because if you know that why, if poverty is a social problem, then you will find out solutions accordingly. So why poverty is a social condition? Because it is not solely responsible or because of individuals' capability. It is not because of solely because of individuals' capability. It is rather it is based of influenced by broader factors like social, economical, and political. These factors somewhere influence the individual's claim towards resources. Okay, this is about poverty. Now, majorly poverty is of two types: absolute poverty and relative poverty. Let's understand the difference between the two with the help of example. Suppose there is a character X. This character does not have enough amount of money to avail basic amenities like clean water, food, shelter, sanitation facility, etc. So what we can say that this X guy is facing extreme or absolute poverty. Because okay. Now another scenario, there is Y guy. This guy is living in a country where median or average income is 100 rupees. Okay. And this guy is earning 30 rupees. Now with this 30 rupees, this guy may buy some of the basic amenities, some of. So this guy is not facing extreme challenge like X guy. Okay. He can buy some of the basic amenities, but if you compare with that median income or average income, this guy is impoverished. Okay, that is relative poverty. So World Bank defines absolute poverty as a situation in which people are deprived of safe drinking water, food, sanitation facilities, healthcare, shelter, clothing, roti, kapda and makan. And what is relative poverty? It is a condition in which people lack the minimum amount of income needed to maintain the average standard of living in the society. So it varies society to society in which they live. So here minimum income was 100 rupees and this X guy was earning 30 rupees. Okay. So this reflects relative poverty. Got it? Now you know what is poverty, types of poverty. In our previous discussion, we have discussed about various committees like Tendulkar Committee, Alak Committee. These committee came up with a recommendation to estimate the how to map poverty, and this mapping is based on consumption expenditure. Okay, so all these committees, they themselves were facing issues, plus their entire focus is on consumption expenditure, and we know that poverty is not related to only monetary value. Okay, it does have wider connotation. Got it? So because of this, there is need to come up with a new methodology, and that is why Niti Aayog came with multi-dimensional poverty index, which we have covered in our previous DNS session. And let's see the key findings. India's multidimensional poverty has reduced to 11.28% in year 2022 to 23 from 29.17 percentage from year 2013 and 14. So it is estimated that around 24.82 crore people escaped multi-dimensional poverty in the last decade, 9 years. And states like Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, they recorded the sharpest decline in the number of people classified as poor. Okay, so these are the few major findings. And now we know that government come up with various initiatives to solve this problem, to eradicate all forms of poverty. But still, some challenges are there. So first, we'll understand what are the factors led to poverty or factors associated with poverty. The first, if any question is like that, you can frame your answer under three broad headings: economic factors, social factors, and geography factors. So first, we'll deal with economic factors. First is low agricultural productivity. See, agriculture sector itself facing issues in form of small farmer landholding, small farm landholding, then low investment, wastages, etc. So because of this, there is low agricultural productivity. Now, if major chunk of population, or you can take 46% of the population is dependent on this inefficient sector, then it is a worrisome situation for India. If major chunk of population is dependent on inefficient sector, definitely it will drive them towards what? Towards poverty. So first reason is low agricultural productivity. Second, slow economic growth and development. We all know that before 1991 era, LPG era, liberalization, privatization and globalization, before that, India had slow economic growth. And this slow economic growth somewhere pushed millions of people in the bracket of poverty. And it is very difficult for the government to pull them out. Okay. So this is the second factor. Third is unemployment. Now, you know that jobless growth is one of the key feature of Indian economy. Jobless growth. Now, what do you mean by jobless growth? Jobless growth is that there's an economic expansion, but that expansion is not well accommodated in the corresponding increase in employment. Got it? Economic expansion is there, but that much job creation is not there. Got it? So what will happen? It will somewhere impact the earning capacity of an individual, and it will lead to continuation of poverty. We'll tell you how. See this scenario of jobless growth. It is very difficult for an individual to find the stable employment, stable income. So if he's not getting stable employment income, definitely it is very difficult to pull family out of poverty line. Got it? Because of jobless growth scenario. Then fourth is regional disparities. You know, coastal states like Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, they have high per capita income if you compare with non-coastal states like UP, like Bihar. Why? Because these states, they have cluster of industries. So once you have cluster of industries, that means you have good infrastructure. Good infrastructure means that good job creation, more jobs, high income. This region will flourish. And if you talk about non-coastal states like UP, Bihar, there is a lack of industrialization, and because of this, there's a regional disparity if you talk in terms of economic upgradation. Got it? So because of this, a major chunk of population, they will face certain challenge with respect to income, with respect to opportunities, with respect to capabilities, because of regional disparity. Then next is income inequality. We all know a fact provided by Oxfam. See, income inequality is that top 10 percentage, they get 57% of national income. Top 10 percentage. And astonishing fact is top 1 percentage, they get 22nd% of national income. So what it reflects? Concentration of wealth in few hands here. And major rest of the population, they struggle to find out even to get the basic amenities, to get the good salary, to get the good income, to maintain standard of living. It is difficult for rest of the population. Got it? And that is income inequality. Then next we have economic inflation. See, globalization has its own positive and negatives. And negative here is that world is facing economic crisis in terms of inflation. Yes. What will happen in inflation with this economic inflation? That whatever you will earn, it will not go as far. Why? Because of rising cost of products and services. Got it? So it will be very harder for family to avail or to get services which is much needed. Why? Because of rising inflation. And this inflation is because of a global crisis. So economic inflation is another economic factor which led to poverty. Then we have population explosion. India is having a 140 CR population, and currently 16 crore people still facing some of the other forms of poverty. Because see, there's a huge population growth lead to huge pressure on resources, on finite resources, and this will lead to, you can say, inappropriate of misallocation of resources. Got it? So this pressure on resources will lead to misallocation of resources, and definitely somewhere it may be the reason to aggravate or to aggravate the problems associated with poverty, because availability of resources is quite limited and population is rising. So population explosion is another factor. So here, under economic factors, we have covered 7 points. Low agricultural productivity, slow economic growth before 1991 era. Then we have unemployment because of what? Jobless growth. Then we have regional disparity. Then income inequality, wealth concentrated in few hands. Then economic inflation because of globalization and currency between economies. Then population explosion, definitely, which is a major cause of concern. Now let's come to our next, social causes. See, social evils like untouchability, caste system, what these evils somewhere, they put the entire chunk of population away from the fruits which they should have enjoyed because of development. Why? See, these untouchability, caste system, discriminatory practices, they somewhere restrict the access to what? Education, employment opportunities, okay, to a certain section only. And this unavailability of chance to avail education, employment opportunities by a certain section will lead to what? Will lead to inequality. And this inequality further lead to poverty. Because of what? Because of discriminatory practices like caste system, untouchability. Got it? Skills to gain employment, because their focus is on rote learning. Got it? And literacy rate, see, low literacy rate coupled with poor education system acted as a hurdle for a population to gain employment. Got it? To improve their condition, to come out of that poverty line. So reason is lack of proper education and skill. Then poor health outcomes. See, India spend near about 1.5% of GDP on our health. Got it? Health budget is 1.5% of GDP. And if you compare this budget with developed countries, they're spending near about 6%. So with low expenditure on health, this reflects very well in our poor indices, health indices. And poor health indices means less productive force. And they are wasting their hard-earned money on healthcare. And this is all happening because of low expenditure on health. The government need to work on that. And all these factors reflects poverty trap. This is a vicious cycle of poverty. It starts with low economic growth. See, low economic growth means that economy is not expanding at a healthy rate. And this may be due to various factors. You take it poor infrastructure, limited market capabilities, etc. So there is low economic growth. Now, low economic growth will reflect in low investment. Why? Because there is little incentive for internal or external entities to invest, to roll out new businesses, to create job. Okay, so less job creation, less investment because of low economic growth. Now, if there is less job, less profit, definitely it will reflect in low income. Low income means less saving. Less saving means less investment on health and education. So it will lead to low level of education and healthcare. And it very well reflects in poor human capital. What is human capital? Human capital is economic calculation of one's capability or skill, and it's rate to education, health, capability, or you can say personality skill. So if you invest less on education or health, definitely it will lead to poor health human capital, and somewhere that impacts productivity. So automatically it leads to low productivity. So you have low productive force. Low productive force means less profit. Less profit means less income. Less income means less saving. Again, it will lead to a vicious cycle. Got it? And that's how we call this as poverty trap. To come out of this trap, you need external support. Got it? And third factor is geographical. Uneven distribution of resources. Major resources, major mineral you can found in Chota Nagpur Plateau. So there is uneven distribution of resources. Population density issue, just now we have covered. It will create a huge pressure on finite resources. That will lead to misallocation of resources. Got it? Then dependency on monsoon. Still 60% area is rain fed. So there is this dependency on monsoon. And climate change and vulnerability, because of all these factors, somewhere it will restrict the India's growth towards to be an inclusive nation. Got it? So we have covered factors responsible for poverty under three broad headings: economic, social, and geographical. Now, these are the factors led to poverty, but still government is doing a lot. Now let's see those factors where government couldn't able to achieve their set target. What are those factors? Okay. The first factor is disjoint approach. Disjointed approach. Now what is disjointed approach here? See, as we have covered just now, that poverty is not limited to economic angle or monetary angle. It has a wider connotation, which involves political, social, cultural factors. So it is a multi-dimensional aspect. Or for any multi-dimensional aspect, you need what? Coherent and collaborative approach. Yes. And what we have seen that our major poverty alleviation programs, they work in silos. So there is no common set of system, or there is no systematic approach that who are poor, why they are so, what should be done to pull them out. There is no target based approach. Got it? And that first issue is disjointed approach. Second is contemporary challenges and impact on programs. Contemporary challenges, you take it jobless growth, you take it inflation, you take it COVID-19. Because of contemporary challenges, these challenges somewhere impact the efficacy of government programs in a negative way. Got it? Second, obviously, we can't ignore this. Leakages and corruption. Like any other government programs, these schemes are also marred with leakages and corruption. See here, two things are happening. First, intended beneficiary is not getting the intended benefit set by the government. And another issue is that influential individuals, they somewhere exploit the system, how they siphon off the money to themselves. Okay, looting government. So leakages and corruption. Last but not the least, of course, literacy. There's a huge divide. You take it financial literacy, you take it digital literacy. Because of huge divide, it somewhere impact the efficacy of the government programs or reach of government programs to the masses, because there is divide, literacy divide. So these are four factors which led to the ineffectiveness of government initiative, and this is the answer of the question given by UPSC, as I told you when we were taking PYQs. So disjointed approach, there is no collaborative effort, then contemporary challenges somewhere leave a negative mark, then leakages and corruption, intended are not getting the benefits, and potential individuals, they are siphoning off the money. Then of course literacy, huge digital divide is there, huge financial divide is there. So what should be done? Our solution revolves around our problems. First, as I told you, we need to have a target based approach. For that, it is very important to address poverty effectively. People who formulate elevation program need to understand and address chronic poverty and the dynamics of poverty. According to socio-economic census, agricultural labor is the largest section under the clutches of poverty. So to elevate them, to bring it out of that chain, you need tailored approach, targeted approach. Okay. So for that, you need to address chronic poverty and the dynamics of poverty. You need to find out which section is facing the extreme poverty, what kind of approach will work for them. Got it? Then of course, regional imbalance and how you can cure this. Need to renew focus on the poorest district through tailored programs. Okay. Then growth coupled with creation of jobs. Obviously, as I told you, there's an issue with jobless growth. So creation of quality jobs directly dents poverty, and it lead to growth in government revenue, of course. And this will allow the expansion of social expenditures at a faster pace. Then agricultural development. As I told you, 46% of population is still dependent on inefficient sector, which is a worrisome situation. So, the poorest predominantly reside in rural areas where income critically depend on agricultural growth. So, we need to rectify this by providing them loans, by bringing tenancy laws, etc. Then, health expenditure. India is spending only 1.5% of GDP. We need to work on that. We need to increase our expenditure. And we know the relation between health expenditure and productivity of force. And of course, skill development. Government must expedite the skill upgradation and training of its working population. And working population must be ready to grab the opportunities created by the challenging nature of global economy. And that's all with respect to this topic. If you have any doubt, you can drop your doubts in our comment box and our team will respond as soon as possible. Okay. Now let's come to our first summary based on this topic, based on this news article, which appeared on page number 18 in the Indian Express. uh, let's start with the context. You must have heard also that recently Iran made a strike against some terrorist groups in Pakistan, and now Pakistan also retaliated. They also strike down some of the terrorist camps in Iran. So this is kind of a tit for tat situation for both. And experts believe that this may escalate. So this topic particularly is not that much important for your exam point of view, but we should uh, understand what is going on in the global world, because Iran shares a very good relation with India and Pakistan is one of our hostile neighbor. So because of that, we should cover this topic. And let's start. First, we'll cover the historical background. Mark this year 1979. It's very important. So it's all started with pre 1979. See what happened before 1979. Iran and Pakistan, they were ally of US. They share a very good relation. Iran supported Pakistan in every war against India. They share a very good rapport. But things got changed post 1979. Why? Because of Iranian revolution. Okay. So what happened? All this dynamics got changed post 1979 because post 1979 Iran and US relation got dipped. Because of this revolution, Iran portrayed itself as a leader of Shia Muslims, and Pakistan backed Saudi coalition, Saudi led Sunni Muslim coalition. So Pakistan backed that group. So relation between Iran and Pakistan got dipped, and this is happening post 1979. Got it? And now, what is the current issue? Current issue, understand what is happening on India, on Iran and Pakistan border. That let's understand with the help of India example that northeastern states bordering Myanmar, these states somewhere share common set of tribal population, and this common set of tribal population somewhere impact India in a negative way. And the same thing is happening with Iran and Pakistan. And that common set of population is Baloch. Got it? This Baloch population, they are asking for greater autonomy in the form of uh, Baluchistan, in the form of Greater Baluchistan. Now the catch is that this Greater Baluchistan entails territory from both Iran and Pakistan. So they both accuse each other of supporting militancy for the same. Both Iran and Pakistan, they accuse each other that they are supporting militancy for the same. Got it? So when Iran attacks, then Iran claims that they attacked the terrorist base in Pakistan. And when Pakistan also do the same thing, they also when they attack, they also say that they attacked terrorist group based in Iran. That's how this issue is going on. Okay. Another important thing is India share very good relation with Iran, as I told you. So India ties with Iran, especially in energy sector and the development of Jahabar port, which is quite significant. And India has historically aligned with Iran against terrorism and equates zero tolerance position. So what should be the way out? See, both these countries, Iran and Pakistan, they both are having uh, several internal and external problems. So what would be the way out? According to expert, the only way out is de-escalation for their well-being. Okay, so this is all about this Iran, Pakistan, and Baluchistan conundrum. Got it? Now, our next summary is based on this news article, which appeared on page 11 in the Hindu newspaper. And context is that New York Times has filed a lawsuit against OpenAI and its backer Microsoft, accusing them of copyright infringement. So New York Times, they allege that OpenAI used thousands of its articles to train ChatGPT, okay, without permission or compensation. So in this article and this issue give rise to two questions. Set of question. The first question is that should AI models be allowed to use copyrighted material for training? First question, that should AI model be allowed to use copyrighted material for training? Second, can a copyright be given to a content generator generated by AI? Okay, so we'll deal with first question first. So always there's a division of arguments based on for and against, that copyright, that AI should be allowed to use copyrighted material. Yes, and why no? So first we'll deal with arguments for. First is fair use. Limited copyrighted material used for training falls under fair use doctrine, which allows the use of copyrighted material without permission. Okay. Second, of course, innovation. Large scale training on various data, included copyrighted content, lead to more advancement, which is quite beneficial. Third, limited alternatives. Training data sets without copyrighted material might be limited and impractical, which hinder the overall AI development. So these are the three arguments for to support. Now, and against, first is copyright infringement. Using copyrighted material without permission can consider copyright infringement even for training purpose. Another is lack of control. Copyright holders might lose control over their hard-earned work. Then unequal benefits. Large tech companies, definitely they have access to vast data sets, so they will get more benefit. So this is third concern. So these are the arguments against. And now the next question is, can a copyright be given to a content generated by AI? So according to Copyright Act of 1957 in India, there is no way a non-human can be granted copyright protection. Till now, this is the legislation, and according to this, there is no way a non-human can be granted copyright protection. So this act recognizes only human authors for copyright protection. And second, advanced model is not considered a legal author yet. So this is the answer of next question. So what is the way out? Way out is that there should be a use of copyrighted material for training purpose should be generally be considered fair use for the overall AI development. And at the same time, it should be ensured that if OpenAI or anyone else is using copyrighted material for the training, they do not seek copyright protection for the content generated by AI. Vice versa. Got it? So that's all. And if you like our video, do like, share and subscribe. If you have any doubt, please drop your doubt in our comment box. That's all for today. Stay tuned for more such updates.